So hi everybody. Hopefully the new mic works better as far as being able to hear me. We're still using the phone for the video for now. However, I just wanted to give a quick update as to where things are at. So a couple days ago, I had my first of the casts cut off and a new one put on. We'll show some pictures of those. And just as a broad update, back on June 6th was the surgery. I was in a splint, sort of a uh, half cast material and half ace wrap to allow for some swelling, expansion, and so forth, just to stabilize it right after surgery. I was taken off 2 weeks later, and a actual cast, fiberglass cast, was put on. This time with the toes pointed fully down. After the 2 weeks, it has now been raised forward. Roughly, if 90 is all the way and toes all the way down is all the way the other extreme, this is somewhere about in between. This is actually, it didn't feel like I had restriction until I tried, after the cast was cut off, to bring my toes up. I could only get them about that far actively, and so they actually did press a little bit up as they put this new cast on. Not forcing it per se, but getting to a point of where it was comfortable and tight. At that point, they put the new cast on. I must say, I really wasn't having much pain on a normal day-to-day basis until they put the new cast on. With this stretch position, there has actually been quite a bit of discomfort. Nothing serious major, but enough to warrant the occasional pain medication. Again, you may choose to do acetaminophen, which is Tylenol, or if you have any of the prescription painkillers, you can use those, obviously, at your discretion, and even anti-inflammatories like ibuprofen, or Motrin, as needed. I took a few just to kind of get over the initial, and then I've been continuing to do some general range of motion within the cast holds the foot pretty still, but you still have a little bit of wiggle room inside of it, which I use for some isometrics, which I think has actually helped with some of the discomfort and has allowed for some active stretch. And those who know about stretching know that it's not the forced stretch, but the body's sort of active resistance to the stretch that improves the flexibility in the long term. Also stimulates healing along the axis of the stress. So by doing some isometrics, the stress along the healing tendon is in line with what it'd be a normal toe down during, say, running activities. So in the pictures, what we'll do is we'll show the progression of the different splinting and casting, and then you can also see where the difference in the angle of the position. I know some people have asked for some more pictures or details. Also, I have included a picture that actually showed some of the gap inside. It's not the best picture. It's kind of hard to flash kind of washes it out. But it went from relatively snug when they first put it on to being able to put my hand easily inside due to the loss of the calf muscle mass. I did a measurement before putting the new cast on, and we'll compare that at the end when they take the final cast off to see how much actual mass is lost within the calf muscle there. I'd have to go dig my paper up right now, but I believe it was roughly almost an inch lost between the surgery day and placing the second cast. So that's still quite a bit, despite the activity, passive range of motion, and the little bit of isometrics I've done. Now that it's in this more bent position, I could actually feel more calf muscle clinch when I'm doing my isometrics, which I'm hopeful for it allowing for more engagement of the calf muscles during isometrics, so that they hopefully won't lose more muscle mass and strength between now and the next casting. We'll also discuss with the surgeon whether or not I can go to a boot in the 90-degree position. And at that time, I should be able to do activities such as range of motion outside of the boot when I take the boot off, and just do some gentle range of motion, possibly even doing some water swimming. The goal at this point is not to go past 90 though, so nothing that's going to bend the toes up further than the neutral position towards my face. So as I said, I'm going to try to include some of these pictures into the mix. And another question that was put on is about my day-to-day activities. So because of the being limited to a knee roller and crutches, I can still get up and make my breakfast. I can still carefully do things like clear the litter boxes and do dishes and most normal activities throughout the day. There are certain times when I use crutches for my wife to get the knee roller and pick it up and put it in the back, and then bring it around for me each time we go out and about. Sometimes it's a little challenging for her. These things are not heavy, but they are a little awkward. And then there are times when I find that, for example, one bathroom, it's easy for me to park the stroller or the knee roller outside the door, and there's a countertop and the door handle, and I can use that to get my way to the toilet. Some of the other bathrooms, it's actually a little harder to negotiate, and I actually pulled a toilet roll holder off the wall because it was the only thing I could reach to help get up from the toilet without putting my foot down. Again, the most important time to be absolutely non-weight bearing is that first couple of weeks. Some protocols will have you putting light toe touch kind of at about 3 to 4 weeks into it. The cast that I currently have allows for some toe touch, but I'm trying not to actually go outside of what the surgeon wants, which is non-weight bearing, until out of the cast. But if I was, for example, to put my toes down, at this point, there's really no pain involved with that. And again, I'm trying to avoid applying pressure. If you were in a boot, some would say that heel pressure, such as a light pressure in order to apply some early weight bearing, would be appropriate. Again, the goal is not to stretch the Achilles in any way during these early healing. If that Achilles tendon is stretched and elongated, it heals in a weakened state and puts you at risk for future challenges. So hopefully this is some helpful information. Obviously, we'll keep adding to it as the time goes along. As far as exercise activity, just to add that to it, I've been increasing my upper body work with blood flow restriction, as well as doing the lower body, as I previously described. For example, doing blood flow restriction, air squats, and being careful and doing a little bit of kettlebell swings with the knee on the knee roller in the locked position. Just be very careful when doing that, because it can suddenly tip, and don't want to fall. You accidentally put your foot down and cause injury to yourself. So if you have a secure bench type, something like that, that would be recommended if you're going to do that sort of thing. Obviously, seated flutter kicks, seated things like knee extensions. You could do things on the floor as long as you're not putting the weight on it, such as crunches and things like that. And then again, I've also been incorporating some band work, upper body, and things like that. So trying to take advantage of some of this time. Other than that, it's been a lot of catching up on some education stuff, and doing these sort of things. A lot of computer time, and again, hopefully pretty soon I'll be able to do some swimming and some water jogging and some other these kind of activities to try to keep some aerobic fitness up. So before this gets too long, all right, take care and be sure to like and subscribe, and please add any comments, questions that I might be able to answer more specifically in upcoming videos. And take care.